Good morning, North Georgia. Good morning from the office. I am BKP, your host. Lonnie, where do you have me this morning?
This is a look from atop the observatory on top of Brasstown Bald.
So I'm on the walkway. I'm walking the plank.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I am BKP. It is 9/6/26. Folks, I do not know how we're going to get everything in 2 hours. We have Carla's Corner at 8:30, and at 9 o'clock we have Jennifer Hazelton. Jennifer is the Donald Trump campaign Georgia Communication Director. We have her at 9. How are we going to get to everything, Lonnie? I think, Lonnie, we may have to just go to 3 hours. We might have to move the show to 3 hours.
Time warp. It's easy.
How?
Just a jump to the left, and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips.
Really, Lonnie? Really? Tuesday morning, day after Labor Day? Was your mic live? Were people hearing that? Lonnie, let me ask you a question. Let me get your reaction this early. So we have the state. We have the state of Georgia back in play. We got a lot of things going on down at the Capitol. We have so much happening with the election. Everything happening locally that I'm not getting to in the 2 hours. All of our scheduled programming. So do you think we should start the show at 7?
You can. I won't.
See, I knew it. I knew it, folks. I knew that was going to be his response. Hey, it's going to be a double spark kind of day. Hey, bartender, set me up a double spark over at the Spark Bar. That's Stay Active Elijah over there at the Spark Bar. I may have to go to the Spark Bar. It's a double spark kind of morning. Panic in Brooklyn. Yes, they are panic. It's panic in Brooklyn. Trump is up 2% nationally and up 20% with independents. 62 days left. 62 days left until Election Day, until Trump wins and becomes the next president of the United States, becomes President-elect Trump. What is that going to be like? From campaign, from primary to, what's that going to be like? I got the muscadine wine right here. We're going to have that Wednesday morning. Wednesday we're going to have a group here. I'm the bartender pouring muscadine. The C word. The C word. The media wants you to believe the FBI's investigation of Hillary Clinton's emails and her, it's all about the C word. Andrea Mitchell, she's on the plane with Andrea Mitchell. Oh, I tell you what, we're going to get some tough reports now that Andrea Mitchell is on the plane. Wonder what the scrutiny was there. Wonder what the, when you went in, they did the interview process to put you. Hillary has the press corps on the plane with her. She couldn't wait for this day, she said. I don't recall. Lonnie, don't use that. I don't want to hear, I don't recall. The C word.
I thought I was tied in. I'm always supposed to answer. It was not my intent.
Yeah, it was not my intent. Obama had to go out the back door. The Chinese made him go out the back door. Trump said, if that was me, I would have shut the door and said, let's go. We're leaving. I'm out of here. I'm with Trump, man. What happens? Remember when Ronald Reagan, and you're wondering if this guy should be president of the United States. Remember the media, the world cringed. The chicken-hearted in the United States were a nervous wreck. Look what Ronald Reagan has done. He got up and walked away at Reykjavik. Remember that? He left Gorbachev sitting. He said, look, here's how it's going to work, Gorby. This is how it's going to work. It's going to go this way, and, call me. I'm out of here. I'm going home. There's a football game on. Yes. What happens if we get a president that would shut the door and say, you know what, I'm going home. Call me, all right? When I can come out the front door, you got the red carpet rolled out, and the band's playing. I'll be back then. Yeah, Obama has to get out. Now, it is a major thing in the media how our president was disrespected. You remember when the reporter threw a shoe at George Bush and the left applauded that? China knows who these people are, and they know that there's no need to respect Obama, which he is the American people. There is a need to respect the American people's president of the United States, but they know who he is. Okay, Clinton campaign. All right, now wait a minute, Lonnie. Kaepernick, right? Kaepernick. You see him, he's sporting his new fro, right? You see the fro he's sporting, right? Yeah, he's got that. He's got the fro out. Yeah, there it is. There it is. You see that, right? That's Colin Kaepernick, all right? He kneels down during the national anthem, all right? He kneels down. So we have found out that the NFL is suspending him, and he has already started his new career. He's on his new career path. Colin Kaepernick is out. He's on a new career path. We found footage of Colin's new career, the job. Check that out, Lonnie. Didn't we find that video? Play the video of Colin Kaepernick's new career. Yeah.
Workplace. Yes. Ladies, thank you for giving up your lunch hour to attend this seminar on sexual harassment in the workplace. Now, please join me in welcoming the head of the School of Self-Defense in Hollywood, Mr. Sweet Tooth Jones.
Somebody grab your brother ass in the office. Yeah. Show him you ain't playing. Karate. Protecting your body. Sugar bear. Step to the left. Step to the right. Like it's all right. Karate. Now, normally, I don't work for the man. But word on the street is that some cats been jiving y'all at the file cabinet. They up to no damn good.
Actually, Mr. Tooth,
That's Sweet Tooth, sister.
Right on. Stay loose, kittens. Lay your number on me, sister. What's the scene?
Yeah, no, I'm just joking. The NFL has not suspended Kaepernick. There's Kaepernick, right? Sweet Tooth Jones, right? That's his new career. He usually don't do something for the man, Sweet Tooth Jones. Got to have some fun here. 808. Okay. Let me go through, get Kaepernick off the screen, all right? Let me go through a couple things. You're going to hear the media say that Trump muddles his message. Has a muddled message, but Hillary breaks the law, not a big deal. Chris Wallace calls Ben Carson Trump's boy. I'm serious. If you missed that, we'll talk about that probably in the 9 o'clock hour. Chris Wallace basically says, hey, Ben Carson, are you Trump's boy? I mean, is he exploiting you? Really? Wow. How about, you heard the story of the spooky clowns, Lonnie? You know the spooky clowns? You seen that? Lonnie, what have you been doing? I mean, the spooky clowns. You seen that? I mean, look, hey, folks, there's these spooky clowns that are showing up. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They're trying to lure kids into the woods, things like that. It's check it out. Google it, spooky clowns. But that reminds me, Congress is back to work today. Okay? Sorry, spooky clowns. Congress is back to work. People, you need to, that's why we got to go to 3 hours. Got to get Cole in here. Going to have to bring Cole in. I'm going to have to go to 3 hours. There's no way we can cover everything. Congress is back to work. Okay, let me just tell you this, okay? If you've been following the presidential campaign, because right now they're telling you this is when it kicks off. Really kicks off now. Trump is up 2 points nationally, up 20 points percent with independents, okay? I'm not shocked this morning. But watch what happens now. Okay, watch what happens now. Because Harry Reid, Dirty Harry, has nothing to lose. He's retiring, okay? He's retiring. He has nothing to lose. Congress is back. They need, obviously, you know, Congress, the Republican Congress needs to make sure, if they were going to pass the omnibus bill, okay, and they were going to give President Obama every single thing he wanted, everything he wanted, all right? Then why not make him put something in there You're going to tell me, oh, you can't do that. But why not make him put something in there that already had a continuing spending resolution in there that would kick in to take the budget to March so the new president, whoever it may be, could put the budget together or start working on what they want next year. No, Republicans couldn't do that. So we have in the next 30 days, we have the budget temporary spending bill. We're going to have a temporary spending bill. Harry Reid said not going past December. Not going past December. The Republicans want it to go till March. All right, watch what happens here. They want spending for the Zika virus, okay, for research. Now, my thing is I need to understand what you do with $200 million. I understand Zika's important, but what do you do with $200 million? All right, the Supreme Court. Now, watch and see what Harry Reid does. They're back to work, all right? The Supreme Court. Harry Reid wants a deal on the Supreme Court, Obama's Supreme Court nominee, or there's going to be no extending the spending, because see, the Republicans are in charge. Harry's got nothing to lose. If they don't pass an extension to spending resolution, watch what happens. This next 30 days, there's going to be a lot go on in Washington, D.C. Yes, spooky clowns. They're back to work this morning. It's called Congress and the Senate, and they want to get back out to campaign. And when they want to get back out to campaigning and get on the campaign trail, because many of them are up for re-election, the House, they don't want to be up there over 2 or 3 weeks. They want to get back out there. I'm going to tell you right now, they'll do any deal. They'll throw the American people under the bus in a heartbeat so they can get back out. The next president will have no choice but to deal with Obamacare. It has failed. You are seeing it on a daily basis. It is a failure. The next president will have no choice. Obamacare is collapsing, and the next president will have to deal with health care. It's a failure. The FBI, the C word. Okay? Now, let me get into something before I get off onto some other things. I read the FBI. I read the FBI's. Let me get that. I should have had that open already. I read the 60 pages or whatever. I read all of that. I understand this morning that most of the media is probably discussing the C word. And we understand ABC, and where Hillary Clinton said she thought the C in parentheses meant that the paragraphs were in chronological, alphabetical order, okay? Not confidential. That did not strike her. We've all read the bump on the head, okay? She couldn't recall. But the C word is what's, and they're laughing it off on the plane. You got Andrea Mitchell, of all people, laughing it off on the plane. Folks, you can't allow this to happen. This is a disaster. The FBI, if this is the FBI that we have in place today, it's a disaster. We have a problem. They're going to, in the next couple of weeks, look at impeaching the IRS. What's his name? I forget his name. Koskikin or whatever, the head of the IRS. They're going to look at impeaching him, all right? Which I think they should. But I'm going to tell you, you need to remove Comey. I'm telling you right now, you need to remove Comey. He needs to be removed today. The IRS, you're in a mess. You cannot allow Hillary Clinton and what this report says to go through. You can't let it happen. The American people, it has to be stopped. It doesn't matter if she's a Democrat. If Hillary Clinton was a Republican, if anybody, it don't matter what side of the aisle you're on. This FBI report cannot stand for the American people. You can't let it stand. Now, let me go into this. Andrea Mitchell's on the plane. Andrea Mitchell is making, she is going to be Hillary's go-to. The C word. So Andrea Mitchell asked the tough question about, did you not know that the C stood for confidential? Why, Andrea? Sure, I knew that. I knew that. I know what confidential means, classified means, Andrea. They're going to help. The press is on there to help Hillary Clinton on the plane to get her message out. All right? Trust me, you're not going to hear a tough press corps in the back of Hillary Clinton's campaign plane coming out with any major revelations over this. But there was a laptop lost in the mail. Lost in the mail. And the FBI did not realize they could get the tracking number and go to the mail. I mean, I see TV commercials all the time where they're telling me over at the post office or UPS or FedEx, I get something in the, I'm telling you, I order something and they're telling me it's 20 minutes out. Technology today, I order something with any of them and they're telling me it's 20 minutes out. I get a notification it's at my post office, all the above. But a laptop got lost in the mail. Blackberries are lost. And the Blackberries that were not lost, they smashed with a hammer. Your government, your information, okay? She carried the Blackberry into the forbidden area. It's called the Mahogany Hall. Folks, on the 7th floor or whatever, there is the State Department offices. There's an area. She is told to go to hell. That's what Hillary Clinton says. Who the hell do you think I'm Hillary? Look, all the way down the chain, she says to the report that she relied on people that sent her stuff to realize they were sending confidential stuff. She relied on other people not to send her stuff she couldn't read. So if she got it and read it, or she sent it, it was their fault. She relied on them not to send this highly sensitive information. Folks, if you're in the State Department, you're working in one of those cubicles and you've gone and you signed your paperwork and you signed your classification this and your certification this, and you signed a paper and you held your hand up and took an oath saying you would never betray the country or our secrets. You will not betray this country and its secrets in any way. You did all of that and you know what you're doing is wrong. But the boss, okay, I could set up all kinds of policies, right, Lonnie? And I can say this has to happen, this has to happen. But if I say, hey, Lonnie, send me this, Lonnie can say, well, it's against the policy you just set up. Or it's against the policy handbook, right? But, you're asking for it, so I guess I better send it. So you can't blame, I'm going to call them kids. I'm going to call them kids and lacking, at the risk of getting in trouble. You can't blame these kids. The boss has no other email server. The boss has no other email address. The boss doesn't have a State Department issued cell phone. The boss has her own, and you have no choice. If you want to get through to the boss, you have to send it through her server. You have no choice. But Hillary flips it back on these kids saying, well, I relied on them. I relied on it. Well, who are we supposed to rely on? Read the report. Hillary says, I relied on this person not to send me confidence. And you got Blumenthal. It's all a mess, all right? Who do we rely on as the American people if this becomes president of the United States, this person? Now, I got to get to something, okay? Laptop lost in the mail. All right, she carried a Blackberry in the forbidden area. You have an area, the Mahogany Hallway, going down the Mahogany Hallway goes down for the State Department. It is classified, this area. This is where Hillary's office is. When you get to the door, these have to go. If you go past the door, you cannot have any devices with you. None. None whatsoever. You have your secure phones on your desk. Hillary didn't even have a computer on her desk. No, absolutely not. Didn't want one. Didn't need one. She carries the big bag, or Uma carries the big bag for her. Her friend. She says she's just a friend. Her friend, Uma. Uma carries the big bag for her. So in the big bag, they got iPads, which of two they lost. They lost two. Just saying, I can't find, you know me, Lonnie, you've seen me, right? I can't find half my computers, you know. I can understand, it's simple, right? Anyhow, two. Now, I'm getting to the part here, folks. 2 iPads they lost, 2, okay? She walks right in the forbidden area, lays it on the desk. You know, these people are coming in like, you know, from that door, we're not supposed to have those. Do you know who the hell I am? That's what Hillary Clinton's new campaign slogan should be. Do you not know who the hell I am? That should be her new campaign slogan. Now, I'm getting to the part, okay? They're on TV saying, oh, people destroy hard drives all the time. They didn't need this information. Folks, it was your information. Now, let me read something off page 18. All right? Let me try to read something off page 18. Where the heck are my computer glasses? Oh, they're in the case. Sorry, folks. Try to get this correct. Now, this is off the FBI file. In or around December 14th or December of 2014 or January 2015, somewhere around there. In or around, okay? Mills and Samuelson. This Cheryl Mills, put the cuffs on this one, right? And Samuelson requested that blank remove from their laptops all of the emails from the July and September 2014 exports. Blank used, we don't know who blank is, blank used a program called BleachBit, okay, to delete the email related files so they could not be recovered. Well, hell, you say. Hell. And they use bleach. Do you know what BleachBit is? I'm going to tell you something. I have been in the internet business here for 6 years. I've had laptops for 20 years. I've erased email, deleted email. I've done all of the above. I've cleaned off the hard drive so we can have more room. But till this report came out, I did not know what the hell BleachBit was. And I think I'm pretty... Did you know, Lonnie? You didn't know? See, Lonnie didn't know. And I'm going to tell you something. If Lonnie didn't know, there's a good reason. Okay, in or around 2014 or January 2015, Mills and Samuelson, I know I'm reading the same thing. Mills and Samuelson requested that their laptops of all emails from July, remove from their laptops all emails from July and September 2014 export, used a program called BleachBit to delete the emails related files that could not be recovered. Blank remotely connected, he or she, blank remotely connected to Mills and Samuelson's laptop via Screen Connect to complete the deletions. Now, we know how that works, right, Lonnie? Because you remotely connect all the time. To complete the deletions. Blank stated to the FBI that a laptop Blank stated to the FBI that an unknown Clinton staff member told him or she did not want the PST file after the export and wanted it removed from the PRN server. According to Mills, in December 2014, Clinton decided she no longer needed access to any of her emails older than 60 days. Folks, they're your emails. They're not her damn emails. They're yours. They're the American people's emails. Now, I'm just telling you, Mills, they decided. Now, let me look at this for a minute, all right? I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you. Now, as you can see, I've used Lonnie as a witness. Sorry, Lonnie. Okay, so this is what they use. Now, Google it. Google it yourself. What is BleachBit? Clean your system and free your disk space. All right? BleachBit. I just Googled BleachBit. This is what comes up. Okay? Let me tell you what BleachBit will do. BleachBit quickly frees disk space and tirelessly guards your privacy. Free, cache, delete cookies, clear internet history, shred temporary files, delete logs, discard junk you don't know, you didn't know was there. You didn't know it was there, just discard it. Designed for Linux and Windows systems. It wipes clean. Remember when Hillary was asked if she wiped clean her computer? Like with a cloth. Like with a cloth. What the hell? It wipes clean 1,000 applications, including Firefox, Internet Explorer, Adobe Flash, Google Chrome, Opera, or whatever. Safari and more. I'm getting worked up. Beyond simple deleting files, beyond simply deleting files, BleachBit includes advanced features such as shredding files to prevent recovery. Hell, you say. Hell, you say. To prevent recovery. Like a cloth, Hillary. Like one of them magic mittens you had on. That's what you use, BleachBit. I get those Clorox multi scrubs over there. That's what we got. We'll use those, okay? Prevent wiping the disk free to hide traces. To hide traces of files deleted. Yeah, just to hide the trace. You can't even trace where this file was deleted. This program will do that. By other applications and vacuuming Firefox. When you're done, it vacuums it all up. Firefox to make it faster, better than free. BleachBit is open source. That's BleachBit, folks. It will simply delete files. BleachBit includes advanced features such as shredding files to prevent recovery, wiping free disks to hide traces of files deleted. Now, let's go back there. I got two more things before I get into, I got 3 minutes here. So let me get back here real quick. Okay, real quick. Where was I at? The FBI file. Let's see. A program called BleachBit to delete the emails related to, this is Cheryl Mills, okay? Now, I want to go, before I get back, we're going to go into the 9 o'clock hour, I promise, state and national, we're going to talk some stuff. But folks, let me just tell you, let me run this list before we go to break. This is called the Watergate Casualties and Convictions. Now, you got a couple guys, G. Gordon Liddy and a couple of the boys, you know, wore the black gloves like you know, in the movies, broke into the Watergate hotel, really did not get anything that helped Nixon win the election, did not really recover anything major, nothing earth-shattering, but they did break in. And then there was a bunch of lying going on and cover-up. And what was it? 18 minutes of tape was released. We call it Watergate, all right? In the aftermath of Nixon's resignation, Watergate continued to claim victims. Here we go. Here's the final toll included before we go to break. 1 presidential resignation, 1 vice presidential resignation, although Agnew's crimes were not related to Watergate. 40 government officials indicted or jailed. H.R. Haldeman and John Ehrlichman, White House staff, resigned April 30th, 1973. They were jailed, okay? John Dean, White House legal counsel, he was sacked the 30th of April, 1973, jailed. John Mitchell, Attorney General and Chairman of the Committee to Re-elect the President, jailed. Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy, ex-White House staff, planned the Watergate break-in, both jailed. Charles Colson, special counsel to the president, jailed. James McCord, security director, jailed. Folks, I'll tell you, you're going to hear the C word all day, and Hillary's going to say, yes, I know what confidential means, and Andrea Mitchell's going to laugh and say, it's obvious she knows what confidential is, okay? And they're going to talk about the missing iPad and iPads and the computer that got lost in the mail. You know, the only thing this FBI investigation was lacking was, you know, the dog ate my homework. I swear to God, that was the only thing that was left, was the dog ate my homework. BleachBit, folks. These people intentionally cleaned up files, cleaned up servers on purpose to stop the FBI. The FBI, Comey needs to resign today. There needs to be immediately, some people need indicted. There needs to be a special federal grand jury called in immediately. If the Republicans want to do something in the next 30 days, whatever you have to do, a special convened federal grand jury, the charges, Mills, all of them. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We've got, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to have Carla's Corner when we get back. And at the top of the hour, Jennifer Hazelton. Jennifer Hazelton is the Donald Trump campaign Georgia Communication Director. So Lonnie, take us a break. We'll be back after these brief messages.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
And I'm looking for my glasses.
You better now?
I'm better. Good morning, we're back. I am BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show, and it's Tuesday morning, 8:30. That means it's time for Carla's Corner, and I'm here with Carla. How are you?
Good.
We were talking college football. Did you watch any college football?
I am exhausted from all the college football events, activities, things that we had going on this past weekend. It was a busy weekend.
I have a bad habit. I pause my audio during the break, and sometimes I don't turn it back on.
Oh.
So I was checking my pocket. Also, I'm checking to see if I have a spark. I need to go to the bartender and get a double this morning.
I
need a double.
Power pumpkin this morning.
Power pumpkin?
Mm-hmm.
What is power pumpkin?
I got pumpkin spice in here.
You kids and your pumpkin spice.
Did you see the Charmin toilet paper? Pumpkin scented toilet paper?
Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, did you just say that to me?
Yeah, I have lavender scented at home, but I was like, maybe I should change to pumpkin for fall.
Note to self. Really?
Nothing wrong.
So we went from college football to
Pumpkin spice coffee.
It's fall. That's what we talked about.
No, we didn't go there. We went from college football to I need a double spark, and I was gonna go into I should go over to the Spark Bar with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you go right into toilet paper, or no pumpkin spice, and they got the toilet paper.
Yeah, that's how we flow in this show.
No flow.
Toilet paper flow.
Don't say flush.
Anyway.
Anyhow, back to you, Phil. Listen, talk about. I tell you what, North Georgia.
We know how to do it Labor Day.
Oh my gosh! I mean, if you came up, did you see the traffic south?
Mm-hmm.
I seen it. I was happy to see people posting it, and I was not in it. Believe it or not, I mean, it was south, 2 lanes. They were
coming north though, on Friday.
Yes, on Friday they were coming
They're
north.
going south on Monday.
Well, you know the thing is Labor Day weekend in North Georgia, all of North Georgia. It is the weekend where we have all kinds of great events to come to. But it's also the weekend where people wrap up the campsite and get the boat out of the lake, a lot of them, and so forth. Last boat weekend, so you see a lot of campers, boats, and people headed south. But if you were in North Georgia, you had so many awesome things. Lisa went over. I didn't get an opportunity to go. Lisa went over and really enjoyed the event over here in the East LJ Walmart parking lot area, that section.
Barbecue and brews, smoking up the mountains.
Smoking up. Did you go?
No, I didn't get to go.
I seen pictures of Paige over there.
Paige worked all day. She was there all day.
Yeah, she was posting all day long.
We had a football game. My daughter's cheerleading, and we had a football game Saturday morning, and the heat like zapped me, and I went home to cool off, and then I fell asleep.
Well, I got in trouble by the park and rec director because I was supposed to go out Saturday mornings and help out, and I didn't.
Help out.
Oversleep. I overslept. Yeah.
At the football games?
Yeah, I overslept though.
Oh.
The park and rec director was like texting me, "Where are you at?" But I overslept.
I saw him.
Did you see? Yeah. Well, I get home late from the football games on Friday nights. And for some reason, Saturday morning, I got up at 5 o'clock, and I was.
That's what time I got up Saturday morning. That's why
But I'm
taking a
thinking,
nap.
well, wait a minute. I didn't go to bed till almost 12:30 after the football game
Lonnie's
Friday night.
shaking it over there.
All right, and then so I'm thinking at 5 o'clock, what am I doing up? So I stayed up a little bit. I said, I'm gonna go back to bed. And I did. You ever do the go back to bed? And the next thing you know, you wake up and it's like 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
That's
I did
what
that Sunday.
How do we get into these conversations?
I don't know. You just start going and take me with you.
I start going to. So anyhow, we had the barbecue. We had so many things happening this weekend.
Crush Festival was this weekend.
Yes.
At the vineyards.
Yes.
We had U-Pick going on at all the apple houses. Hillcrest will start U-Pick this weekend. This is their kickoff for their apple picking jubilee, where they'll have the clogging, they'll have the apple picking, the petting zoo, the museum. They have the Apple House Museum. And
They have clogging.
Yes, they have clogging.
Have you ever watched clogging?
Yes.
Can you clog?
Oh no, no. That is a skill.
Huh?
That's a skill.
Clogging?
Yes. Clogging is a skill. If you don't believe me, you should try. It's a skill.
Clogging.
It's a thing. It's a very important thing.
Can you square dance?
Nope.
What can you do? You can't clog, you can't square dance? Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't do anything that needs me to be able to square dance or clog.
Oh, I seen you for a do-si-do girl.
They are having a square dance at Fainting Goat Vineyards.
See, there you go.
Some people
Let's get back to college football. What'd you watch? What was your favorite game of the weekend?
Well, okay.
Yeah, this is where you really get in trouble. This is where you really get in trouble.
Obviously, as a Georgia fan, I liked the Georgia game because we won. But I would have to pick, if I had to pick the best game this weekend, it was the Texas Notre Dame game.
You like Tech Notre Dame? I watched that Saturday night. For Sunday night.
Because I like my job, I'm not going to discuss the Auburn Clemson game.
You better learn to square dance quick.
But let's talk about Florida State and Ole Miss. What was that? Who saw that coming?
I don't know. I only had room for a couple games. I've caught a lot of the highlights and scores, but the two games I watched, basically I only had time for a couple, was the Georgia game. And I think the North Carolina coach really took their team out of it. I think Georgia, they gave Georgia the momentum when they got that penalty, when he got that personal foul penalty. It was a bad call, but that's football. You get a bad call on you every once in a while, but when he got the personal foul penalty for arguing the call, that took his team out. That hurt his team. Next thing you know, there's a safety. So
it's called leadership.
Huh?
It's called leadership.
I absolutely love watching. Is Lonnie wanting in?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of leadership, I have two
Speaking.
questions for you, Carla.
Okay.
One, what is with over 40 college teams this year having 2 quarterbacks or more? What is with everybody switching out quarterbacks?
It's like women. Why do we have 40 pairs of shoes? Because we're not sure which ones we want to wear tomorrow.
You know what? I have 25 minutes with you, and it's like I never know where you're going, and I have to just caution myself. I'm the one that has to be concerned of where you're going to go with the conversation.
And number two, what is with all the upsets this weekend? Like, half
It's
of
the
them.
first weekend. You never know what's going to happen the first weekend. Ever. You never
Alabama. You know what?
Alabama. They won. Shocker. Again, shocker. I love how everybody was like, we just don't know what Alabama's going to do. What? Like, what is that? Like, you don't know what Alabama's going to do. Alabama does the same thing they always do. So why is anybody concerned about it?
Okay. Now, wait a minute. How do I get this back where I want to go?
I don't know. I don't know where you were going. I just went with it.
40 teams have 2 quarterbacks?
Or more.
Yeah, I'm not into that. You have a quarterback or you don't have a quarterback. This running in, running off the field, 2 quarterbacks, I'm not into that. Alabama.
Well, in Georgia's case, it was a good thing we had 2 quarterbacks.
Yes.
The upsets you talk about, Alabama won.
That wasn't an upset. They said it
No,
was an upset.
I didn't say it was an upset, but
I'm just saying that was not an upset. Ole Miss beating Florida State was an upset.
Yeah, but all right, getting to that was,
There was a lot of upset in LJ over that game. I know a lot of Florida State fans here.
Oh, here's what I was getting to before you went somewhere.
Somebody needs some spark.
I've already had one. I got to go to a second one. Anyhow, I have a train, and do not get it off its tracks again.
It's not that hard.
Alabama won. Don't say anything. But do you like all the Facebook posts that people put all these pictures together and they rag on each other's team? Like, you see them. Come on.
Do it.
You do it? I mean, it like... You see the 2 guys with 3 teeth, right? And somebody will put up, that's the Alabama line at the concession stand, right? Or something. You've seen those, don't I? Did you put those up?
No. I only did the one where it was, it was Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and he was like throwing them in his mouth, and he was like, when I hear somebody say "Roll Tide." That was the only one I did. I was very kosher. You know what team I feel really sorry for? Like, what? I'm starting to like sad uncle pity. University of Tennessee. Like, I just want them. I want them to do better just for their own. Like, I'm just like, come on, Tennessee, you can do it. Not when you play me, because I'm gonna beat you, but I really want you to do better. I really, really want to see you do good. They won, but they won by the skin of their teeth.
You know what's funny is I enjoy the Facebook fights between the fans down in the area of McKaysville. When you go down Route 5 and you start down towards McKaysville, down there right at the Tennessee line, there are some people, and I say this.
Orange up there.
Well, I always wondered why they missed what side of the river they actually live on. What's with you?
You better be careful what you say.
No, I just get confused. Zach, right? Zach used to be here.
People have been shot for less.
No, Zach's a great guy. We used to pick on him all the time here. He used to do sports up in Fannin. When he was going to school over here at Dalton State, he was taking classes. Zach Godfrey. I'll put him out there. I love the guy. But he would wear orange, and LT and I would mess with him all the time. And he's from Georgia, lived in Georgia, and I always say, where did you miss what side of the river you live on? You know what I mean? Now they get into it hot and heavy. You can start down that way. You don't want to get in one of those orange or red feuds.
Up that way?
Down Route 5, down. Just let me stay with what I do, okay?
Okay.
Okay, don't correct me on my ups and downs.
I don't think they should be arguing red and orange at this point. I think it should just be like,
oh no, they argue.
Come on.
They argue all the time down there.
We just want you to do good. That's all we want. We want you to do good.
Are you wanting them to do better out of pity, or are you wanting them to do better so that when you do beat them, it actually feels like a victory?
No, I'm to the point where they like
Chill.
5 years of really bad.
Chill. No more football. No more football.
Okay.
It said no more football. We only got a couple minutes.
All right.
Now, just because Labor Day has come and gone in North Georgia and all the end of the summer events have happened, but actually for us, that really kicks us into fall. And we're going into high gear now of people that want to come look at the leaves, where that's just around the corner, looking at leaves. Apples, and more apples. I love it. I love everything about apples, and more apples. You see, I won the taste test here last week or 2 weeks ago.
Won it?
Yes, I won. I guessed every one. There's people that didn't see
Everybody
that.
gets a trophy for something, don't they, Brian?
I know you did just do that. Oh, I know. Did I get a Did you just give me a participation
I sure
trophy?
did.
Oh, I know you didn't just. I know you didn't do that. You did not give me a You know that. How
You
red
got
my
all
ears.
but what, one wrong?
You can see the steam coming out of my ears, can't you? Anyhow, the fall, we're headed right into actually so many things getting ready to go on in our area. Tell us a little bit of some things coming up, how to find events on the Chamber website.
Definitely go to GilmerChamber.com to our calendar events because it is just packed cram full right now of things to do. Some important things happening in our community is we cut the ribbon last Thursday for the new Republican Party headquarters.
Yes.
And they will be hosting their grand opening today, this evening. So
Yes.
they'll have that happening. I think it's the regular meeting as well. Then we also have the ribbon cutting for the sweet shop on Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yeah, here in downtown, LJ, the sweet shop is opened
Ribbon
up.
cutting.
Yes, ribbon cuttings. And then this weekend, Friday, Chateau Maitri is having their luau night, which you do have to buy tickets in advance for. It's on our website. We also have the Gilmer Arts is having their literary event this weekend, which they'll have book signings and things like that going on. Live music at Pickin' on Porch at General Store, live music at Carter Cave Vineyards. We'll have Master Gardeners is having a make and take workshop at the library. Lots of things happening. You still have the U-Pick. Hillcrest is kicking off Apple Pick and Jubilee this weekend. So just tons of things going on this weekend.
Tons of things. And that is where? At the Gilmer Chamber website.
Yep, GilmerChamber.com. Just click the big red button that says calendar of events and you'll find all that information. We have lots and lots going on. As the weekends progress, we're going to start getting into festival seasons. Not just our festival seasons, but basically there's a festival happening somewhere on 5/15 for the next 3 months.
Yes. Now, you've been ready for fall for quite some time.
Oh yes, I did all my fall decorating at home this weekend.
Did you?
Yep, everything but Halloween. I didn't put the Halloween stuff out. I just did
please
the
don't
fall
do it.
stuff.
Don't do that yet. Don't do that. We've only got a couple minutes now. Now, where would they find you in the lovely, helpful Gilmer County Chamber of Commerce staff? Oh, there it is. That's how
This
they
is our building.
Look for this building right here.
On 515.
On the northbound side, coming up there on the northbound side of 515. Big green sign out front.
Who is the creepy dude?
Oh, you're funny.
No, see him in the, I don't know which way I'm pointing. I'm not a
You know
meteorologist.
what? I don't have my glasses.
There's a creepy dude in our, that's an old picture. That's Ruth's old car.
Really?
Yeah, it still looks like our
Do we
building
need to
though.
get
That's all
stuck
that
on
matters.
that? That's one of those clowns, scary clowns. Have you seen the story where the scary clowns are coming?
I don't do scary stuff.
You seen the story about scary clowns?
Probably not because I don't do scary stuff.
What rock do you and Lonnie live under? Actually, this is the Chamber of Commerce in Gilmer County, and you could stop in right here. This building's on the northbound side. Just chill there, I'll do your job. It's on the northbound side. Big sign says Gilmer Chamber of Commerce. Go in there, and the helpful staff will give you all the information, tell you everything that's going on in this county and in North Georgia area to help anybody visiting, or if you're locally here and you want to find out more about the local community and some things happening, stop over at the Chamber of Commerce. How did I do on that?
Sure.
Sure.
You should see our reviews on TripAdvisor. People, we do actually help people.
Do you?
Yeah.
You
We
actually,
have like lots.
do you realize you play this back? We actually do help people.
There was like
We
4
actually do.
TripAdvisor reviews over the last like week of people like saying how helpful we were and the information that they got, and that if you're coming up here, you should definitely stop by because we can help.
Yeah, that's just great. That's awesome. How are the kids?
You need some pumpkin spice.
I don't need pumpkin spice. How are the kids? That was an awkward silence.
My kids are good.
Are they?
Yes, the cheerleading, soccer.
How's the cheerleading going? I got to come out and see the girls. They enjoy it?
I actually have their halftime routine. One of the moms recorded it. They are an amazing cheerleading squad for their age group.
Are they?
I mean, like, really good.
You're not one of those cheerleading moms. Oh, I got to come out there. Are you one? You're a cheerleading mom,
No,
are you?
I am sitting under an umbrella at 10 a.m. with nachos and Haley, and we're like, it's too hot for football. Like, those little boys, like, I don't know how they do it. It's 80-something degrees, and they're in the blazing sun, sweating, and they have to take those helmets off when they're not on the field or whatever, and they get like that nice fresh breeze of fall air, and then they got to put that stinky hot helmet back on to go out in the field. That's some serious stuff. I couldn't do that. I'd be like, no, I'm done. Helmet's off. It's like when you get home and you take your shoes off, you're not putting them back on. You're just not. It's just too, But those little boys, man, they're working hard.
So the kid comes off the field, he takes the helmet off. Coach says, hey, number 18, you're in. Oh, sorry, Coach, helmet's off.
Yeah, helmet's off, I'm done. I'm all done.
Coach, you see the helmet off?
And this is why Carla never succeeded in athletics.
Happy here on the bench, Coach.
Good, thanks.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we're going to have Jennifer Hazelton's going to be in here for about 20 minutes. We've got a call with her coming in. Jennifer is Donald Trump's campaign, the Donald Trump campaign, Georgia communication director. And then after that, George and I will wrap up the morning in our national segment here. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. You've been watching Carla's Corner. Glad you can make it in
That lady
today.
has a really long title.
Did I ask you to help me with that?
It should just be like Trump's Georgia person. Keep it
There you
simple.
go. Trump's Georgia person will be here when we return.
There you go. See? That was so much easier, wasn't it?
Hey, how are things when you go back over to that place over there and the lady that wears orange, things didn't go so well? Was it a tough day?
Is that the prison?
You know.
I don't know yet. We haven't been over there yet.
Take us a break, Lonnie. We'll be back after these messages. BKP, good morning.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ella-J. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
And we're back. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live. I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We just wrapped up Carla's Corner every Tuesday morning. And if you want to find out the things happening in Gilmer County and the North Georgia area, go to the Gilmer County Chamber website. Next up with me, my guest, Jennifer Hazelton. Jennifer is the Trump Campaign Georgia Communication Director. Lonnie, can we bring Jennifer in? Are we in? We good there, Lonnie? Okay. We're always trying something new here. Lonnie's working on my screen. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you today? We have a long list. First of all, let me have you give our viewers a report on actually what's taking place in the Trump campaign in Georgia, how things stand in Georgia, some of the polling numbers, or what you're seeing out there as you're traveling the state and talking to the media groups.
American voters and Georgia voters are really responding well to Mr. Trump's message. They understand that the Trump-Pence campaign is the campaign that offers the best possible future for Americans, plan for economic growth, strong border, strong national defense, and we're starting to see that in the polls now, which is really exciting.
Well, I know you just, I got a message from Rick Glickard that there was no sound on Jennifer. We're good?
It was a few seconds, but we got it.
A few seconds, okay. Some of our viewers, we have the greatest viewers because they're our tech support. They tell us on our sound. Jennifer, Hillary did have a lead coming out of the convention bounce, and there was a lead that many polls had her up double digits. What do you think has taken place here recently in the last couple weeks, besides yourself coming on board at the campaign? What has taken place here in the last couple weeks that is eroding her lead in the polls and bringing this to a virtual tie right now?
Well, that's a really, really good question. I think it's a combination of quite a few factors. I think first and foremost, you have Mr. Trump continuing to campaign vigorously across the country in key battleground states, delivering his message, reaching out to all groups. You know, he reached out to Hispanic leaders within the last few weeks. He's been reaching out to African American voters. He's reaching out to other voters. He is, you know, every day we are out there presenting our message to the American people, and the American people are getting now a chance to hear it. Now that we're, you know, after the convention cycles, the American voters are locking into the race now, and they're hearing it. So that's one. Number two, I think it's the drip, drip, drip of all of the, you know, very unseemly and unsavory news that continues to leak out around Secretary Clinton, her conduct while she was in the State Department, the, you know, the allegations of pay for play at the State Department. They're, you know, now they're talking about the, you know, the 13 BlackBerry devices she had and the 5 iPads, and how, you know, the House committee on Benghazi had subpoenaed, you know, one of her BlackBerries, and right after one of her people found out the device was subpoenaed, that's when he hit it with a hammer. He only destroyed it after it had been subpoenaed. You know, this constant flow of negative information about how Secretary Clinton has conducted herself while in office, while she had the public's trust, it's alarming. I think it's alarming to Republicans. I think it's alarming to independents. I think it's even alarming to Democrats. And I mean, I think that if you got them behind closed doors, I bet they would even admit that they don't like it. And I think that, you know, people are, the trust that they have in her is eroding. And
you know, when you said, I'm sorry, but when you said alarming to independents, I must agree. It has to be alarming to independents, because the same poll you're citing shows that Donald Trump's up 20% over Hillary with independents. And that is the danger. I'm calling it panic in Brooklyn this morning. I think there's panic in Brooklyn because we know, and I think you and I both follow politics close enough, that Donald Trump's going to get X% from Republicans. Right. Hillary's guaranteed she's going to get X% from Democrats, and we know that number in play. The important number out there is that independent vote.
Exactly. And they are the deciders, as they always typically are in a presidential election. I just don't know how you can ignore all of this. I mean, you even had Morning Joe on MSNBC this morning. I don't know if you had a chance to see it.
6 a.m., never miss.
and, you know, they are not conservative. I mean, let's just say that.
Exactly.
You know, even they were talking about how shoddy the FBI's investigation of her was, and how flawed that investigation is now looking, given all these revelations that keep coming to light. And then you have the fact that her campaign seems intent on hiding her. I mean, yesterday she was out for the first time in weeks after taking a vacation in the Hamptons and fundraising in the Hamptons and Martha's Vineyard with all of her Hollywood friends. And, you know, she hasn't given a press conference in nearly 300 days. And so they were trying to make a nod to that yesterday by having her go back to the back of her press plane and take questions. And she couldn't even get through that without dissolving into a huge coughing fit.
Wait a minute now, Jennifer. Now, she is serious about bringing the press on the plane because, you know, she brought Andrea Mitchell on there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Andrea Mitchell, yeah, we're serious now about getting you the information. We brought Andrea Mitchell on the plane.
So
Really?
did you hear Andrea's question to her on the plane?
Yes, yes. And obviously, Andrea, I know what the C meant.
You know,
trust
critics
me.
say,
Yes.
and it was like, really, Andrea? Critics say? I mean, this isn't just made up like detractors who are coming out with please, please. And even then with the softballs, she was still like, she couldn't handle it. She dissolved into a coughing fit and had to go to the front of the plane and said she'd be back later. That was the tape that I saw ended at the coughing fit. Whether she came back or not, I couldn't say. I didn't see that tape, but
Jennifer, I have to agree with you. When Morning Joe, and what's her name, Brzezinska, when Morning Joe has no choice, I watch every morning at 6 just to see what direction they're going to try to take the narrative, what the narrative of the day is. So I watch at 6 a.m. And when Morning Joe has no choice whatsoever but to address this for 20 minutes, it's
bad for them. I mean, and they, you know, and she, you know, it appears that their strategy is to just, you know, keep her out of the press and try to go into a glide path into the presidency, assuming that, you know, if they don't make any mistakes, if they don't put her out there, and I just don't think the American people are going to be okay with that. And honestly, the American people demand more. They want a vision for their country. They want a vision for their future. Donald Trump is giving them that vision. He is articulating a prosperous vision, economic growth, fair trade agreements, strong national security. And I think that is the vision that most Americans want, and I think most Georgians certainly want.
Well, you know, there's a lot being said this morning, and I don't want to veer off the on direction of staying on the campaign, but a lot being said this morning questioning the conduct and the FBI this morning, actually, in this investigation and in these interviews. There's a lot of questioning around Comey and the FBI today.
Well, you'd be a fool not to question it. I mean, I'm going to even borrow Hillary Clinton in a recent appearance. She was trying to be funny, and she said, when I was back in Arkansas, I heard an expression that I've often used a lot, and she was trying to apply it in a negative way towards Mr. Trump, but I would like to turn that expression back on her. The expression was, if you see a turtle on a fence post, it didn't get there by accident. And that was a direct quote from Mrs. Clinton. I would say, yes, Mrs. Clinton, if you see a turtle on a fence post, it didn't just get there by accident, meaning all of your disappearing emails, the use of BleachBit, the destroying of your devices, the establishment of a second email account. And, you know, Brian, look, we're not stupid. I don't know if the Clintons think we are or if the FBI thinks we are, but I think every American could put 2 and 2 together over July 4th weekend when they interviewed her on a Saturday, and then on the Tuesday after the holiday, we heard that there was going to be a press conference. I think we all knew, we didn't even have to hear the press conference to know that they were going to let her off. Because if you were being serious, you wouldn't interview a witness on a Saturday and exonerate them on Tuesday morning in time for them to get on a plane with President Obama to make a campaign appearance that afternoon. The timing was just a little too neat and a little too cute. And
well, I want to say I wish you would. My opening monologue this morning, I wish you wouldn't have said BleachBit, because that sets me off. I read page 18. I read all 55 pages. I read every single page. She went into the mahogany, they call it the mahogany hallway or zone, that you have to leave every device. Every device, I read the whole thing, you have to leave every device at the door. Nobody's allowed in there with a device. Right. Nobody. Right. And she walked in and, excuse me, these are my words, I think Hillary Clinton is running the, what I call, you don't understand who the hell I am campaign. That's it. I'm sorry, Jennifer, but that's just, to me, after reading this, the nerve of these people to just do. I don't want to get stuck there. Our time is limited. I think Donald Trump did an outstanding job, and Detroit at that church, the black church in Detroit. I think he did an outstanding job there. What are you hearing from the campaign as far as how he was received and how the inner city communities are taking the Trump message?
Well, I can only speak for, what I've been hearing, how the message was received in Georgia, and what, it does from at the national level, the campaign, we are discussing how well the message was received. And I think, it was the right thing to do. And I get this question a lot from reporters in Georgia who are covering the Trump campaign. And they ask me questions about diversity and appealing to ethnic groups, African Americans, Hispanics, other groups. And, can Trump reach these folks? Are we going to try to? And my answer is the same, and it's the same answer I would give to any American, no matter their race, creed, color, stripe, gender, what have you, is we want to earn every vote, period. Every vote matters. Every vote's important to us. We want to present our vision to every American voter and show every American voter that our vision is the best vision for their future, for their families, and for the country at large. And, and that's very true and very heartfelt. And I think it was great that Mr. Trump went to Detroit and made an appeal to get our message out. And it was wonderful that the crowd gave us a fair hearing. The people in the church gave him a very fair hearing, and hopefully that resonated to some degree. But I have heard in the state from some of our African American leaders that the response was positive. So that is, we're happy about that.
I want to ask you, have you met yourself? Have you ever met Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson yourself?
I'm trying to think. I used to work at Fox News, and I can't remember if maybe I met him when I worked in Washington.
The reason I say that is he's an outstanding quality individual. I mean, just everything about Dr. Ben Carson, and I don't want to get down this rabbit trail, but what was said to him by Chris Wallace this weekend very much disappointed me, and the comment that Chris Wallace made to him this weekend. Hillary took 2 minutes. Rudy Giuliani has taken a lot of heat for discussing her health or questioning the possibility that Hillary may have some health issues. We learn in this, things we already knew, but we learned in this FBI information that was released that the bump on the head, I can't recall. So we see her referring to the concussion on many of her answers or some of the reasons why she can't recall some things. But really, Giuliani has taken a lot of heat for even discussing her health. Yesterday, we see in Cleveland, 2 minutes. Took her 2 minutes. She went into a coughing fit.
It was 4 minutes, wasn't it?
Was it 4? I don't know. I mean, it may have been 4 minutes. I agree. But, and then she says she gets all choked up when she just thinks about Donald Trump. She tried, but she went into quite a coughing fit for 4 minutes. What is the campaign? I mean, what are you getting from New York, the national campaign, or what are you guys hearing concerning
You never want to, if someone has a health issue, you never want to try to, be insensitive to that or callous. I mean, I think there certainly is a concern that maybe there is, something going on there, because not only did she have the coughing jag, these coughing jags visibly appear to happen quite a bit. It happened dramatically, yesterday, and then she had it again when she was trying to talk to the press, and she had to stop, and she said she was going to return. So that's at least twice that we know of in one day. And so on one hand, I think those of us who are watching, like all Americans, have concern, and we certainly wish Secretary Clinton well with her health. Nobody wants anything bad to come of anyone health-wise. So I think there's a concern, just as human beings, that she's okay. But, on the other hand, she is trying to audition to be commander-in-chief, and she is auditioning to be the leader of the free world. And Americans have the right to know the complete sort of health prognostications of each of the candidates, and that will inform their decisions in November.
I couldn't agree more, because, we've always heard a heartbeat away from the presidency, And realistically, if a heartbeat away from the presidency is Tim Kaine or Mike Pence, I know my choice. And I think the health is important. I don't want to be negative on somebody's health issue, just like you said. I don't want to say anything negative where that's concerned, but when you're auditioning for Commander-in-Chief. Trump has a big week scheduled, national security speech, obviously. Good week coming out, starting after everybody's paying attention. They say now everybody's paying attention after Labor Day. National security speech. What is coming up this week for the Trump campaign?
So just like you said, Mr. Trump is going to be in Philadelphia on Wednesday, and he is going to be giving a very substantial national security speech and speech relating to the military, his vision for our defense. And we are announcing some great news today that we've had 88 retired U.S. generals and admirals endorse Mr. Trump and his candidacy. And, some of them like Thomas McInerney, Hugh Smith, Donald Thompson, a lot of Joe Arbuckle, a lot of very well-respected names within the military community, very decorated heroes of the United States have all put their name behind Mr. Trump. And we're all very grateful and very excited about that.
Well, Jennifer, before we leave, and we got to go, and I know you have a lot more set up today, but before we leave, I want to ask you, what kind of response are you getting from the local level for the campaign? And I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. Today, Gilmer County will have, they had a ribbon cutting last week. They'll have actually their grand opening. Gilmer County will have their grand opening, the Republican Party Trump campaign headquarters here. They had one 2 weeks ago in Fannin County. What are you seeing on the local level of Georgia, and how enthusiastic your local counties that you're dealing with are?
We're getting a huge amount of support. So it's really been going well. So the state party and the county chairs are all being incredibly supportive. We're very grateful for that. They're there to help us at every turn, and then we in turn help them as much as we can as well. We've got a huge amount of support also from New York at National Campaign Headquarters. And it just seems like we're really firing on all cylinders right now. It seems like everyone is united in our goal. We're all moving in the same direction, and it feels good.
Well, Jennifer, we thank you very much. We noted here on Good Morning from the Office that the poll numbers started to close in, and Trump started closing the gap on Hillary when you came on board. We wrote that down. Okay, so we got that. We thank you so much, and we appreciate it. And please come back anytime with us and keep us updated on what's going on around Georgia in the Trump campaign.
I will, and say hi to my pal Lonnie for me.
Oh, Lonnie. Oh,
Lonnie.
Yes. No teaming up. Okay, hi, Lonnie. All right, Lonnie. Jennifer said hello. Jennifer, you have a great day, and you come back anytime.
Hey.
All right. We want you to come visit up here. Lonnie, let's go. We're going to take a brief break right now. We'll be back, and when we return, George and I will wrap up the final. Half hour here in the morning. George will have some final thoughts, and we'll close up. I'm your host, BKP. You've been watching Good Morning from the Office. Lonnie, take us a break.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And I'm glad to be here with George. George, how are you?
Good morning, sir. Couldn't be better. Better than I deserve.
Did you have a good weekend?
Had a great weekend. Started Thursday. Went to Highlands, North Carolina for a night. Had dinner at the Madison restaurant at the old Edwards Inn. That's a favorite of ours. We do that a couple of times every year. So it was a good weekend. It was cool up there. No rain, no wind, just a beautiful day.
George, glad to be back. I enjoy getting to talk to Jennifer, staying connected to the Trump campaign, seeing what's going on there. There's a lot of things I didn't get a chance to go over this morning. I want to touch on, and I know, but here's something that I think the American people need to pay attention to. And there's the little things that get off the radar screen. They get overshadowed by Hillary coughing. They get overshadowed. Now, people don't get upset. They get overshadowed by Hillary coughing. They get overshadowed by the Zika virus. Everybody in America, you need to pay attention to your Secretary of State. Secretary of State. Every single individual in your state, your Secretary of State. Your Secretary of State certifies your election. That's right. Remember the hanging chads in Florida? What happened? The Secretary of State certified the Florida election results. When the Secretary of your state certifies your election results, they are then sent to the Electoral College, right? Mm-hmm. And they are sent there as the certified results of your state.
And that's it.
And your Electoral College, and that's where we have in our lifetime a Supreme Court that took over. Remember? Yeah. And the Supreme Court was actually their job was to validate her certification. Was the certified election results, whatever. So the point I'm making is Interesting enough, fast forward to this upcoming election, Obama's set to take control of all voting machines in America. Now, for those of you that, miss Donald Trump, for those of you that miss George W. Bush, I, for one, do not. I wish him well. I don't think he's a bad guy. I would prefer him today over Obama.
Over what we got.
But let's not forget where we got our favorite Homeland Security. Okay? There are 16. They are planning to try, they want to scan. The federal government wants to scan every election machine in the United States to check for areas that can be hacked, because they're concerned with all this hacking. I'm not for sure that everything that has been taking place methodically there's not something behind it.
Well, they want to check for machines that haven't been hacked, so they can hack them and confirm the 100% results like they do in Philadelphia.
Brian Kemp, the Secretary of State of Georgia, he pushed back on Homeland Security, and he said, Kemp to serve on national elections cybersecurity panel. Cybersecurity panel for national elections scares the absolute hell out of me.
It's crap.
Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp was named Wednesday to work with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on cybersecurity risks to the election and voting systems. The National Association of Secretaries of States, National Association of Secretaries of States, appointed Kemp and 3 other Secretary of States to a federal agency election infrastructure cybersecurity working group. Secretaries of States are committed to working with our federal partners to increase awareness of federal government cybersecurity resources and services that are available to election officials. Okay, now, what concerns me is Kemp really pushed back on the government at first. So he was the nationally, got his name out there, nationally known as the guy that stepped up and pushed back. So they felt, what do you do with somebody like that? Oh, you bring them in and you put them on the
team.
Right?
Put them on the team.
We're going to bring you in so you can help watch and make sure we're on the up and up. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to give George, I know we haven't had a lot of time. He can use the time for his final thoughts or anything he wants to discuss. George, I didn't mean to go there. It's something I didn't want to leave today. It's bothered me with this. The government wants to scan all our computers, and I think these are the little things that are under here.
That's right.
That we got to watch for.
And they're starting to be exposed. People are looking at it. People are starting to watch the Clinton disintegration over these more emails, the multiple phones that were destroyed by her staff after they had been subpoenaed with hammers. WikiLeaks say they're going to come out with things that will end the campaign for Hillary Clinton. This woman belongs in prison. She does not belong as President and Chief Executive of the United States or Commander-in-Chief of the military. America has been brought to its knees by the Obama administration. The ultimate humiliation, and he's still got a few months to go and he'd be humiliated again, occurred in China. And I talked about that. We saw
he had to go out the back door.
The changing of the guard. And that's what I called this particular essay. Yesterday, or a couple of days ago, a bevy of world leaders descended on China to participate in the G20 summit. China is this year's host country. China and the Chinese hate to lose face by committing social errors, inadvertent or otherwise, when those errors can be anticipated and provided for. Chinese will anguish over their faux pas until such time as the errors can be put right in honor or their face can be restored. Such an incident, one without precedent, occurred in China upon the arrival of President Obama. When our legacy-minded buffoon of a president arrived in his big, expensively operated airplane, the Chinese apparently declined to roll out the exit gangway so Obama could deplane in honor and glory to cheers and adulation. By the way, that was also the red carpet gangway, and every other head of state came down the red carpet stairway and on the red carpet to be greeted by the Chinese government. The whole tawdry event necessitated Obama's exit from his airborne palace through the servants' entrance to stand shamelessly embarrassed on the hot tarmac. So much for honor and glory. The Chinese, well, they're not anguishing. Their reaction, oh, so sorry, get over it. They sent a message to Obama and to the world of who was now in charge. It was a public changing of the guard, and the world was watching. Such an affront to any world leader is an unprecedented for its callousness and daring, and any world leader worth his reputation would have immediately ordered the flight crew to plot a course home, fire up the engines, and get the heck out of there. And that's how the game is played. The Chinese did not make a mistake. They made a calculated guess that Obama, already a recognized incompetent weakling, would cave into their insult, and sure enough, he did. China won. Oh, those rascally Chinese can be ruthless in their politics, can't they? Most of us remember the Reykjavik summit between Premier Gorbachev of the Soviet Union and Ronald Reagan over the simple little matter of Reagan introducing a few piddly American cruise missiles into Europe to confront the USSR's inability to financially respond. Gorbachev, it will be recalled, made a negotiated demand that Reagan knew wouldn't and couldn't be met. In response, President Reagan announced that there was apparently no need for further talks, got up from the table and said, "Let's go home," and he did. The diplomatic world was stunned by such diplomatic depravity. But soon thereafter, the USS came crashing down. The USSR came crashing down, as both Ronald Reagan and Maggie Thatcher knew it would. And a few years later, after that great victory over socialism and communism, we now have an incompetent, wastrel, apologist president undoing all the good works that came before him. Clearly, the Chinese were paying attention. Obama wasn't. China's insult has immediately changed the dynamics of any further negotiations between Obama and any other world leader. He might as well quit right now and let Joe Biden have a go, because anything that comes out of the G20 summit or any meeting he may have hereafter will probably be suspect. It will certainly be criticized and probably ignored, especially the silly notion of world climate change. Obama's legacy as a gifted foreign affairs politician, already in tatters, will now and forever be firmly etched in the textbooks of college courses everywhere as a pitiful example of diplomatic incompetence and failed leadership. Ronald Reagan's diplomatic achievements, on the other hand, will shine as the greatest example of political leadership by any captain of any world nation in modern times. His example should and could be emulated. Thomas Jefferson said it best: weakness invites insult and injury, and Obama just proved it. Remember, freedom is the goal, and the Constitution is the way. Now go get them. It's your turn.
Thank you, George. Folks, do you really feel out there that Hillary Clinton will be the one that can restore the respect for this country around the world? I think not. Let me say this, the United States, the President of the United States is supposed to be the leader of the free world. And I think the President of the United States is still the leader of the free world. And I think they will continue to be the leader of the free world. The problem is, it's no longer a free world. That's the problem. What are they the leader of, and what are we allowing to happen? So leader of the free world doesn't mean a whole lot, and Obama had to get out of the back of the plane. Hey, it's Tuesday. What's that mean? Inspirational moments with our good friend Oscar Poole. Lonnie, show the picture. I'm up here this morning, Lonnie and I are getting ready, and who shows up? Look at the Pigmobile was right outside. Oscar was here.
Oh.
Lonnie said, I hear somebody knocking on the front door.
He put new rubber bands in it and twisted them up.
Yeah,
tight.
he got his rubber bands fixed in the Pigmobile. I like that. But yeah, and it oinks too. Lonnie, have you ever heard it oink?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pigmobile oinks. So Oscar shows up here. It wasn't knocking on the door, but that is at take the Pigmobile down. Oscar, inspirational moments with our good friend Oscar Poole this morning on Tuesday, and at 10 o'clock. America's behavior expert, the Scott Farrell Show, so you're going to stay tuned for that. Folks, let me say something here that may hit home, may get me in trouble, but heck, I haven't, that's not stopped me yet.
Again? Are you done with the Fannin Court thing?
No, I'm not done with that. This is, let me say something here. Gilmer County, because I want to say this, because nationally, if you're in Seattle, California, regardless of where you're at, you're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, anywhere in the United States, this should hit home for you. Now, Gilmer County school system decided Saturday that they would release their football coach, the Gilmer Bobcats football head coach, Jason Galt. And they've released Coach Galt, and he's no longer the head coach, and they have replaced him with Casey Wingard. Casey Wingard, congratulations. We wish him well. And we do wish the team well. But what catches me off guard the most is the uproar on social media over this coaching decision. And the lack of uproar on people raising your taxes. Now, I, for one, am always on the sideline on Friday night watching high school football. Can't wait to get there. Love every minute of it. And I like college football. And I'll no longer really watch the NFL and Kaepernick and all the thugs. I'm pretty much through with that. But I like college football as much as the next guy or lady out there wearing a jersey, and I like my Friday night football. But if we just get as concerned about your local taxes in Gilmer County going up as you were on how great the football program was and who would be the next coach. Now, I understand. I support the kids all the way, not trying to get myself in trouble. Just wish some of the social media uprising would be about property taxes. Just saying. Just something I thought about. Panic in Brooklyn. Trump's up 2% nationally and 20% among independents. There is panic in Brooklyn, 62 days. The C word, yes. She had a coughing fit, all right.
Both on stage and in the airplane.
Yes, in the airplane, had a coughing fit. Let's look at a couple quick things here, George. The Clinton campaign has already spent about $200 million before Labor Day. Trump has basically spent zero, and he's neck and neck in the polls. They're in a mess. They are in a mess. They spent neck and neck in the polls. They've spent $200 million. Florida, George, Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, virtually tied. Striking distance in the Pennsylvania area and in the Michigan. Those are all striking distance. And I got a lot of video and pictures this weekend. They're working hard in PA. They are working PA. So they're in trouble. $200 million to be even.
That was a good picture of your mom out there holding the Trump
My
sign.
niece, 16 years old. She's waving the American flag. Mother holding the
They're
Trump.
standing out there waiting to be shot, it looked like. Nobody around them.
Well, they were on a very busy intersection. That's a very busy intersection.
That makes a difference.
Very busy intersection where they were at. But, I'll tell you one thing that's interesting is when you talk about Pennsylvania, they all say Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. If you're outside the state, Pittsburgh, they had a parade. And they had an enormous turnout in this little town called Pen Argyl, PA. Pen Argyl.
Pen Argyl, yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that Pen Argyl, Pennsylvania, produced the majority of the slate in this country. If you've seen slate shingled roofs, that came from the slate of
The
Pennsylvania.
slate mines up there, sure.
And you could drive up to Penn Argyl and still see the old slate mines.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people that were yelling at their parade, build the wall, Trump. I'm telling you, I think he's in good shape. Anyhow, what I told you, you've heard the story about the spooky clowns. Well, no, that's not really true. But Congress, that reminds me, Congress is going back to work. Folks, we have to be careful. Danger, we should have the warning danger lights going off, the sirens. Congress is headed back to Washington, D.C. You thought everything was quiet for a while, right, George? Everything seemed quiet, but no, they're headed back. What do they have to deal with? A continuing spending resolution that Harry Reid, that does not care, has nothing to lose, said will not pass. They will not support it. They want a Supreme Court nominee. They want money for the Zika virus, and they will not pass this. There's going to be a major budget fight. Get ready.
Right here in the state, we've got a couple of things going under the radar that need to be addressed. One of them is that vote for allowing the state government to take over failing schools. That is a trap. That is, you've got to vote no for that. That is a trap to allow top-down government to take over schools just because they think it's failing, they say it's failing, they'll take it over. And the other one is this Medicare thing, the collapse of Obamacare. As the systems are collapsing
Medicaid,
everywhere.
they want to expand.
They want to expand Medicaid. That is a next step into single payer, and it has to be resisted. Vote no for both of those.
George, I said in the opening of the show, the next president of the United States has to deal with the final collapse of Obamacare. Has to be dealt with.
Well, I would like to hear Trump talk about it.
And I will say this. I think you bring up a great point, because I was going to tell people, it is September 6th. We're going to schedule in. I'm going to try to get State Senator Josh McCoon, State Senator Steve Gooch. We're going to start getting these guys back in here. Try to get the Speaker of the House in here, David Ralston. We want to talk to these guys about what is on the agenda down at the Gold Dome this year. The JQC, Judicial Qualifications Commission, that's on your ballot. Opportunity school zones, opportunity schools, failing schools, that's on the ballot as George. We're going to talk about that. Expanding Medicaid, Georgia.
Sounds good, but it's a trap. It's going to be so costly we can't afford it.
Those are things on the agenda. It's 9:48. I am your host, BKP. Look, if you send a laptop in the mail, let me give you, Mr. Comey, FBI Director Comey, let me tell you this. If you're sending a package, Director Comey, anywhere in the United States, they will give you a tracking number, okay? Keep an eye out in case the FBI or the black vans show up out front. They will give you a tracking number, and they will let you know when your package arrives. And if they lose it, you can use that tracking number to find out where it is. So you just can't accept Hillary says, "Hey, we lost a laptop. It was in the mail, George, and we lost it."
Shocking.
Don't know.
Shocking.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got a big week ahead of us. Tonight, Turf Talk with the Bobcats, that's tonight. And stay tuned. After Oscar Poole's inspirational moments, it will be time for the Scott Farrell Show. That is America's behavior expert, Scott Farrell, coming up at 10. George and I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday. I have to keep track of the dates. Friday, we're at Sycamore Crossing. I don't know, playing in a theater near you.
Yeah, a lot of that movie's back. Hillary's America. It's back on a special run. You can also see it, I think, on the internet.